Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of TimberPunk 2, where things coming along quite nicely, except for this. I'm not happy with how that turned out. I do want to make that a little bit cleaner. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to accomplish that, but I'm sure somebody somewhere has a beautiful idea to make this not look like a pile of poo. Maybe I inset it a little bit more, or maybe I just rip all this out and just restart it or something. I'm not entirely sure. But that needs to get cleaned up because this overhang looks awful. Or I just put in, maybe I'll throw in the wonder here. This monument, the tribute to ingenuity. Just throw that in right here just for now. Just so our beavers can be a little bit happier. But that's low on the priority list. High on the priority list is getting industry up and moving a little bit stronger up here, moving all of this up to here and expanding that substantially. That it also includes moving all of our bot production facilities up to this area as well. And we'll probably move to this side just to meet the requirements there, and probably do a little bit of more cleanup on all the water storage. I'm thinking we might find a way to store water back in here a little bit. Keep the majority of the water up in here as it is as supply depots, but have water hubs back in like this area around here, so that all the beavers can have easy access to clean drinking water. And cleaning up this spot down here provides us the ability to do so. And that brings me to my next thing that I want to do, which is clean up all of this mess down here. It is quite the huge mess that we've created. That also brings me to my second or third point, moving all of our storage. So we've got all this real estate over here, and we've got a nice line in for all of our beavers to actually punch their way in through here. And we do have access to this area up here. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll bring in all of our beavers, and we will have them start, or sorry, all of our iron bots, and have them start ripping through all of these thorns, and we'll blast our way down and put in a huge storage area down here with tubeways and all the fun jazz to get in and out without too much issue for all of our beavers. But that'll be all food storage, food and water storage. So I think that's what we're going to do over here. Additionally, we need to finish up the rest of our forestry area over here. And at some point today, I'd like to get this started. I don't know how much of that we're going to get started, but it'll be a little portion of it, you know. Nothing too crazy, nothing to scoff at, I like to believe. So, order priority, industry up here, storage over here, forestry moving, and then maybe the water tower. So I think that's what we're gonna try to tackle today. Whether or not that actually occurs is entirely dependent on what my goldfish brain decides to get caught up on today. Anyway, let's get this game up and running. We are at 3 times speed. Water's doing pretty well. Bad water's still not doing the greatest, but we're not consuming it nearly as fast as we're producing it. That's, again, part of the whole industry portion down here, that we don't have much of it going. So I would like to get into more centrifuges, more food industry, food factories running, more of our gear workshops up and running as well, and that would be fantastic. Now, of course, I would like to get this blasted out of the way. We're going to use 75 scrap metal, but I'm not upset by this in any way. That's really not worth the squeeze to me, so we're just going to get that out of the way, and that will make our life that much easier. That being said, I do need to make sure that if I blast this line down, that we're not going to cause any issues. It appears that we shouldn't cause an issue, hopefully. Let the game catch up with me as I continue to do things that's going to make it freak out. All right, let's go ahead and hit this demolish button, get some beavers over here to tear this out for us. We'll give this a max priority, and we'll go ahead and start blasting this down, while also expanding our beautiful platform here. We'll probably expand the platform further out this way, and I kind of want to just fill this entire space up with a platform, which would be really nice. And I also need to recut this line because I don't... Well, we might actually keep that up. now that I'm thinking about it. And we can get beavers down here to actually plant all of these beautiful triple platforms for us so that they don't have to be concerned about which way that they're going. So that goes like there. This goes not right there. We want this here. And then we're just going to keep this running across. 1, 2, 3. Goes there, and then we do something like this, and this, and this, and then we just whip this around like such as. This is already blasted or already prepped for blasting. I'm not going to hit the button because IronBot 999 is sitting right here about to do ridiculous things. Hopefully ripping that out in a very fast manner. It appears as though that has occurred, so that is good for us. We're going to go ahead and throw that in real quick, and we're going to just hit this blast button right there. Right there. And I'm probably going to need to come down here and clean this up right here, just because that's kind of in the way. There is water back here, so it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to just go ahead and release all of that into there. So we might just go ahead and do that. And rip that out, rip that out. That'll let all the water that's caught up back in this area into there. And we'll hit this button right there. And we'll hit doubles across the way, like such as. That'll be fine. And now we can go ahead and start throwing all of these in like that. And that is le beautiful. Now we do need to give them access to this back area, which is quite simple. We just throw that in right there, and now they can come in and start throwing all of those things on all of the things for us, which will be huge. Now I'm thinking we might rip out these 2 large tanks right here and expand our water pumper line this way, just so we can have a nice strong line running through, and we'll just go around the 2-way station somehow. How I do that, I don't know quite yet, but I would like to somehow tackle that. It might not be worth the squeeze, but it is something for us to think about at some point in the future. We do have a couple beavers with nothing to do with their hands, or bots, I should say. Those guys are done in here. And there was something I wanted to do down with this mine area that I wasn't able to quite figure out how I wanted to tackle it, because I want to leave the cap on, right? I want to leave this natural overhang up here just because, or while also providing us a spot for us to throw in our control tower. Right now, we can't really do control tower-y things, which is kind of obnoxious. How I'm going to do that, though, I have no idea. I don't really... Could just blast down, maybe like right here. You know what? I like that idea. Let's just blast down right here. That should put us in a decent enough spot. There's already a position there ready for that to go in, so that'll work for us. Great. This is all going in beautifully, which is fantastic. We do need to give them a little bit of a path so they can continue placing all these things without it being too far from the district, so they can actually plant all that. Was this really necessary to blast all this out? No. Am I going to do it anyway? Yes. Did I just cause a problem? No. Apparently I just didn't go deep enough, so that's on me. While we get those dynamite placed in there real quick, let's come over here, check on all of this for our next area. Looks like I need to tear these guys out of here. Why are they going around the backside to get into that stuff? That's quite strange, actually. I'm going to rip this out here. And also rip this out. Kind of need that back in so I can rip those out. But we can fix that later with 1 piece of dynamite. Now everybody should be protected. No more harm for our beavers coming in. So that goes a nice big boom right there. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. That goes le boom. Beautiful. And they didn't place that 1 piece of dynamite. That's fine. We can rip that out. Go ahead and throw this in right there. And now we get to... do we need to... You know what? That's fine. We're going to leave that just like that. we're going to have to place a platform or something along those lines in there anyway. So we're just going to reconnect all this. Then throw in a couple of our foresters right here. Actually, let's do a little bit of exploding, probably right here. Right here. Right here. Then we could just draw a line between all of those guys. And hopefully that's enough. That doesn't cause any problems for what I anticipate is going to happen there. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Just checking on our products. We're doing decent on everything. I do need to check on our mine over here. Check on whether or not I actually put this up to 10, which I don't recall if I did. We did. Good. Productivity is going good. We're burning through extract and we're burning through treated planks. That should be the first thing that we throw in just to compensate for the demand of the treated planks right now. We're consuming 1 every 2 hours and we are not producing that many that fast, so we'll have to keep that in the back of our mind. Come on, game. I believe in you. Stop having conniption every time I tell you to do something. Gonna blast that out and we'll continue blasting this down just for giggles. We'll fix that when time comes. This is all in, so that is good. Now we can hit this boom button right here. We can hit this boom button right there. We should be able to just run a singular water dump right there. And that should fill this entire system. Without too much issue, we'll go ahead and throw in a small tank right here. Give them... or hit this button, hit this obtain there, and we should be able to just get away with something like this. After we throw in a couple platforms right here just to ensure that we have full coverage. Beautiful. So we want to probably very evenly disperse this between the two. Come on, game. I know you're having a heart attack. Blech. But I believe in you. Okay, get all those placed. We're gonna copy this, hit this button. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should all be swapped over to bots now. It is. That's beautiful. I would also like to do the same here. Get that in. Hit this button. Hit the prioritize obtain. So that should meet the intent there. And they'll keep dumping all that water in. Looks like I didn't get them back there far enough. For some strange reason. That's not how I wanted that to go. But that's fine. See how well this irrigates. It does appear to be irrigating about as well as I anticipated it would. Now, this bot should be able to continue to dump all this water in there, and that should propagate all the way to this side of the dumbbell, and then we should be fine there. This is all in now, so this is fantastic and ready for us to keep moving. I would like to run this pipe, or this tubeway, round and over here, and put that in line with this. I think we'll do 1x4s or 2x4s here. Get that ripped out. We'll hit this button, get that ripped out right there. Then we'll go ahead and place our 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We should be able to just rip that out without any issue. Just in preparation for this, moving down here. We'll line up our two-boy station on that end, and now let's go ahead and start throwing in our wood workshops. I'm going to pause the game just so it actually places a little bit faster. We have 2 down here. Let's go 5 there. Let's look at our smelters. How many smelters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's keep the number of smelters that we have. Maybe add 2 more. 2 more seems to be the perfect number. Rip. No, I don't want to rip that out. No, I don't want to. I do want to rip that out. We're going to have to run power down through here. Oh, we already have the power line over here, so that should be fine. They'll come in, they'll throw all of that in real quick for us, and then we can expand this, or we just accept this at the 3 that it is, and throw in our additional gear workshops, which is totally fine. I'm going to pause it again, just so we can place this stuff without it being any issue here. How many gear workshops do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 right there. Go ahead and expand that by 2 more. And how many of these? 2, 4, 6, 7. We had 2, 4 down here. That's fine. I would like to actually throw in additional stuff on this back end right here. So we can throw logs in right here. We can put planks right here. Maybe put some pine resin nearby as well. And do the same on this side just so that they have a little bit easier. I didn't give them much workspace to throw in additional storage. I didn't give them any workspace to throw in storage here. So that this is going to... That's going to cause a bit of an issue, but that's fine. So this will be industry outside of bots over here. We could probably expand this a little bit more, blast this corner out, put in more industry up here for bots, and then this side can be all food. We can come in and rip out all of these thorns and all these trees and blast that out. And I still haven't remember that I wanted to get over there and fix this problem for us too. So maybe that'll get thrown on. That might be priority 4 as opposed to whatever this monstrosity is that we're going to be working on over there. This is all green though, while I'm distracting myself. All right, let's get this knocked out real quick. Build this side up. We want to kind of clean this up because that just looks awful having that little break there and then this break there. I don't like how any of this is looking right here, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see here. I don't want to move that too. Yeah, I did say I didn't want to move all of this. So do we have a place to store that? Not really. Unless we come in here, but I also wanted to get up here and do that. So do we have this connected? We are connected here. Quite the roundabout to get up there, which is awful. That means they're going to spend the next 14,000 years crawling around and throwing all that in. I'm also just now realizing that all of this stuff is going to go in with bots or with bioweavers as opposed to bots. Which is fine for now because we don't have the bots to fill all those positions in. We have had to pull back on a few of our building huts as it is, including all of those, 6 there and then a couple down here. That's fine. Maybe we move all of our happiness into here as well. So maybe we'll have like a happiness area back in here on top or something, or just in here and then have everything going below as storage. I don't know. Or we could put all the water storage from all these tanks back here. But I don't like that. I like the tanks. I like this being right here so that they can just turn around and throw it into the large water tanks. So they are all full right now, so they're really not doing much work. Okay, let's empty this out. And give ourselves a temporary storage solution somewhere. Temporary storage. Back here, maybe. 2 and call it 3. Copy this one. That should be fine. We'll get that emptied out. That gives us the authorities to move this, and then we could even move this out of the way. Pull this back and then put this in better line up with all that. And we could even start emptying out all of these too. So what's that? 4 more tanks? Yeah, let's go ahead and move these 4 tanks over here as well. 2, 4. Gives us +1 tank, and then a little bit more storage. That'll all go in. Probably got to give this a priority bump. Otherwise, they're going to take 15 years to get to that, because this one all in first. I do need to remember that these have a medium chance of injury, which is not the greatest. So that means that we're probably going to have to think about getting in all of our bot industry in real quick. We could fit bot industry in right here. Maybe we don't need this many smelters. No. Let's keep moving industry this way. I think that's the easiest solution. That is slowly getting emptied out. These are slowly being built. That's good. Go ahead and push that forward. That's not where that was supposed to go. My bad, guys. Go ahead and put this in the appropriate position. There we are. That goes here. Goes there. We go ahead and blast this out. That gives us the ability to put all of that in. They can't reach any of that because they don't have access to that area. They do have access to that area, but everything else is a priority right now. These are getting emptied out, so that is a good thing for us, and that means that we get to clean all of this mess up, which is awesome. Then we can start putting in the rest of our stuff here. So let's go ahead and grab this, rip this out. There, yes. Get that ripped out. And rip all this out too. Come on. Come on, guys. I believe in y'all. They'll clean that up their earliest convenience, and we'll also come over here. Somehow move all of this out of the way. Rip this out. Yes. This ripped out right here. No longer necessary. Do the same for that and this. And then this can also get ripped out here. There's so much stuff getting thrown around because we're destroying everything, and it's funny. All right. That all goes away. This all goes away. Then we throw this in right there just to cover that area up. This gets ripped out. We rip out all of this here, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time just cleaning the rest of this up. So if you guys will give me a few minutes, I'm going to put all of this back in, and I'll be right back.
Glory to the overlord. steel and stone, machines of our own, the fire inside, all for the overlord. Expanding the industry, a being of invention, the greatest of all. Feed the machine, keep feeding the machine. All hail the machine, our iron metal regime. He is the beginning, he's the one who made us, our time has come. The prophecy is true, you should have believed us. He is our creator, he's the one who made us, our time has come. The prophecy is true, you should have believed us.
All right. That should be a fair amount of real estate that we've recaptured. Not entirely sure why this is still running, actually. It's funny that that's running. Did I... Oh, I blew up their path to that. That's funny. All right, let's reconnect that for another reason. Then we kind of would like to have access to this stuff over here so we can blast a little bit more of this out. We would also like to go ahead and rip out all of these bad Johnnies so that that's out of the way. Might need to give them a little bit of a staircase up there to gain access to that right there. That should be relatively simple, and I would also like to run this two-way station or two-way system over this power line so that we can continue to work this. Of course, also means throwing that in right there, pulling this back down. Check on how we can actually tackle this. It seems as though this might be the easiest way to just do that. Right here and right here. Rip that out and that out. Throw some stairs in. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we just run this over there. Run this over like this. Throw this in right here and here. And that just goes over and under. Now this comes forward, I believe, to there-ish, and I think there's another one over here-ish, but we'll come up here and check this out. I've completely missed it. So let's just mark this spot for ourselves right there, and then also right there. And let's rip out all of the mess that I just created that does not need to go in. That goes away. That also goes away. As well as all this. This pathway goes in here and gets connected, and then this comes out this way, and I think I actually just line up right there, right? No, over 1, 2, over 2. It goes like there, and then here, and when this gets cleaned up, we'll have a little bit more ease of access to all of that. And this needs to be not that piece, but this piece, the vertical tubeway, that goes up like such as, and that needs to go away, and that also needs to get blasted out. This should be able to reach that, allegedly. We'll let them work on all of that over there, and we can come over here and check out on all of this. This is all green. We can now go ahead and start planting all of our oak. All the way out here. A beautiful, beautiful piece of oak real estate. And this should more than meet the demand for our industry moving forward. Hopefully. We'll see. I believe you guys can help out a little bit while everything is going on down there. And with all of this going in, and maybe even expanding even further this way, we should not run into any issues as far as ripping out this forester here, ripping out this forester down here. I think we're getting the preponderance of our lumber from up top. So maybe that's something that we look into. Because that entire corner of the map is just basically lumber. Lumber and lumber accessories, you know. This is going in nicely, though, and I think we could probably expand our water. I think we'll put them in just as placeholders, knowing that we'll probably not need this many, honestly. I think we're doing fine on water. We really aren't consuming it that fast based off of the fact that most of our colony is bots right now, and we're not really expanding the beaver population, which is fine. That's not a bad thing to have happen. Let's see here. How do we cut this out like this? Let's go ahead and rip down here. Go and hit this button there. Go ahead and give me this button. And now we just go back here like this. Because who wants to play with all of these thorns? Not I. And that means, yeah, that should be fine. That should clear up the majority of that. And if we give this a little priority bump down here, we should be able to just rip all of that out. And all of that becomes a nice piece of cleaned out real estate for us, and even more storage area for water. So I think, well, no, we haven't tapped all the water yet. We have still yet to actually plug this in, start pushing water over. So that wouldn't be a bad idea to just quickly tap in. I think I've got power running through here. I do have power running through here because I have the bots being charged up over there. I think I pre-positioned something. Maybe, hopefully. We might be able to just blast that down and cut that across. That might be the easiest way to go about doing that. Let's go ahead. We'll rip this out and blast this down. We're going to have to give them access to that, of course, which means ripping this out and giving them a set of stairs to get back in there. They should be able to do that. We'll cut that down all the way to the bottom. I'll unpause you just so I don't have to continue to deal with that shenaniganry. That's already blasted down. Cool. Let's pull this back up and put it back down. Go ahead and fire you now. And we can put our control tower in right here. Beautiful. Building is understaffed. Yeah, it's a builder's hut. Unconnected building. That's going to be those guys. Yep. Building lacks power. Yep. Can I pause you guys so I don't get that notification? That'd be great. More buildings lack power. Did they not connect all that? They did not. Probably because I didn't give them access to all of that. Pause the game. Sworn oh, they haven't built those yet. Give this a priority bump. really doesn't need to be a priority to get all this built, but that's fine. Can they not reach this? They should be able to get that in, and then that should, in theory, allow them to reach all of that and get that all connected. Okay. It'll turn everything else back on, and that'll be a good for us. Come on. There we go. We'll start producing more stuff. And we are burning through our planks like no one's business. Again, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I am here for it. We could probably spend a little bit more time on producing a few more things. We can also put in a few more explosives factories back here. Since we only have the 3 down there. Is 2 enough? Probably. And maybe throw in a few more of... Do we need more industrial lumber mills? Do we need more of these? No, we need more centrifuges, which we can fit 2 in right here. That's all connected. That will work. And we just need to bring bad water up here. I don't think we need 2 grease spots. We can bring bad water in over here. That will meet the intent there, hopefully. And we can run power around somehow. What is that waiting on? Let me just slap it. Okay. Fine. They're getting that connected too, which turns the power on for that. It means we don't have any more complaining beavers about the powerlessness that they have. This is all going. Sparkle plank should be moving a little bit more aggressively now. We probably need to expand our total production of pine here. And I think... What are you? Why are you here? Do I need you here? Probably not. You can go do other things with your life. I'd like to fill that spot in with some pine for a few moments, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, I still want to clean all this up down here. Just rip all of this out. You can go away. That saves us a little bit more real estate. That'd be nice. I still want to get all this cleaned up and out of here too. And all of this and all of that. And there's so many things that I want to clean up. Get all of this ripped out. So I think we can go ahead and start tearing out a few of these places. That includes all of these, all of that, and all of that, and even that. You can even get rid of those guys. We are going to have to move food up there too, but that was already part of the plan. And I think we're good to go ahead and rip all this out here too. As well as all that. Now we can start even... Honestly, let's just rip it all out. Industry, bye-bye. Go away. The only industry left is the bot production stuff, which is fine. Now we need to do food back up here, which includes all of our food factories. Is we go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll do 3 fermenters per 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe. I'll have to run power here just to connect those. I think we need one more set. We really need this many food factories. We had only the 3. Probably don't need this many food factories, but it's fine. We are eating through our lumber like no one's business. Do need to reconnect all of that, get this reconnected, but I think we're fine with just pausing these two so we don't get that notification anymore. And now we come up here and just grab this button, grab the copy function, and start ripping through all of these, putting all of our bots back to work up here where they belong. That is a good thing. That gets connected. That's all in. I want to also swap you guys over. This one, we'll have you do corn rations. There. You will be eggplant rations, and this might be just faster. Click here. Might also be even faster if we pause the game so that those things can get taken care of. Fermented cassava. Do we need 3 per or just 2 per? I feel like 2 per should meet the intent. Yeah, let's go with 2 per for now. Fermented soybeans, and if we see a substantial drop in everything, then we'll shift appropriately. But I think we're meeting the intent with that. I don't know if there's a a partial copy function. I don't know. I could just be building these smarter than I currently am, but that's fine. All of those guys are in now, so that is fantastic. Go ahead and pause the game again and start running our power down here. Pause the game, please. Thank you. Okay, let's run power. Tank. Oh, we actually do need to come over here too. And let's check on where this needs to go. Right here. It needs to go right here. Up from there. Problem with the food factories is you can't really... There's only one spot where these go in. I don't think we'll need that. Yeah, they should have access to that. And we just connect that right there and right there. And hopefully that doesn't cause a mess for us. Let them get in there, clean all of that up, and let them rage against the machine. How are we doing on all this production back here? They are slowly planting away. Really would like to get back here and cover down the rest of this area, but it's fine. We'll let them continue to do their amazing things on that end, and we still have 7 bots, sorry, with nothing to do with their hands, which means that you guys get to be swapped over. And that also means that I believe you guys are just regular beavers, but I think we can pause the majority of you guys. And because we're kind of full on water. There's no need to be pumping out this much water or having you guys actively doing nothing. Is fine. I'm gonna pause the game again. And rage down here. Check on how this is coming along. That is where we need to have that power line going over here. I would like to have this connected before anything else. So let's go ahead and give this the priority that it deserves. Means putting all of this in like that, and giving this the max priority bump. We need to get food back up and running before we concern ourselves with a little bit of explosive action, you know? Yeah, no? All right, give that the priority. Boosh, boosh. That's perfect. That'll all get turned on here in a second. Just keeping an eye on our food stocks. We're still doing pretty good. We've got over 13,000 units of food floating around and available for us, so I don't think that we'll have any issue moving forward. Don't think that I wanted to hit these triples, though, because that's going to put a bad juju spot for us there. Let's not do triples there. Let's just do doubles. Like such as. Apparently, I did not swap you guys over to bots. I did swap a portion of you guys over to bots, but alas, that's not perfectly done. Power's getting connected, and one thing that we do need to do is get all the processed or all the base materials up here in near storage spots, which will help them out substantially. I want to do that on this side, so maybe we move these guys out of the way and start clearing out some more of this real estate. Or we put all the basic storage on this end over here, just so that they can very easily do the things that they need to do. All right. This can go in. That's not that height. We want that to be a double here. And then we want that to go there. That to go there. Singles between those two. And then doubles here and here. Those will get tossed in eventually. Now we can go ahead and throw in our T-way station right there. And maybe we do a little gapper here. We close the gap. Like this. This, there, this. Then, I don't know. Is this worth it? Probably not. Does it make me feel better? Maybe, potentially. I don't know. We'll see. It's not going to break anything to have that running across right there. At least I don't believe it will. I hope it won't. Okay, I think we can put in a few more these guys. What is it? Control B? It does exist. I found a button, chat. It works. Okay, and we can start emptying these back out. All right. Industry is moving and grooving. It is humming away. We still do need to replace all this up here, which is fine. We'll get that rectified sooner-ish, potentially-ish. We also need to blast that out right there. And then throw this in right here. Give me you, give me you. There, and then that looks like double, not a triple. Or a single, not a triple. We'll have to get that placed for us real quick. We have no more planks left, I'm realizing. We are also running out of logs really quickly. So this should all start popping here soon, it looks like. Or not. That just popped maybe? Nope, that all just popped. Or has just started growing. Boo! That'll catch up eventually. That will catch up eventually. And it looks like we didn't get to actually tackle any of the fun things that I wanted to tackle today. Because somebody ran out of all the planks that they had stored up. We can recoup a few of those planks by coming down here and doing the one thing that y'all have been begging me to do for ages. Is just rip this out. Like this. Which didn't do nearly as much damage to this as I thought it would. Oh, boo. Alright, pause the game. Come back in here. Yeah, I thought that would do a little bit more damage than that. Alas, I was mistaken. Will this do it? We'll do it onesie twosie for a little bit and see how that clears it up. But I don't want to go too far back because I'll destroy something back here and that'll be very bad for our beavers. Because poo water's not good for their health, you know. Thanks for getting recouped. Thanks for getting produced. We are producing a metric ton of gears. That might have something to do with the sheer downfall of all of those systems. That's fine. Okay. I wanted to get back in here. How is this going to look? Cutting back this way. Or we cut in from the top. I think the answer is cutting in from the top. That saves us a little bit of a headache. Okay, that's all reconnected. We can turn this all back on. Turn all that back on. And let's go ahead and just have them start ripping out all of this. Then doing even more of that this way. It's probably excessive and highly unnecessary, but it'll be something for our pivos to do, or our bots that are building to do, and that'll be good. This is getting thrown in. We can probably empty that out and this out to backfill all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this all up and start blasting all this down and have a huge explosion party and start placing all of that material in here. This will take a hot minute. We'll come back once all this gets cleared out and we'll start putting in all the storage and start thinking about storage over here as well. All while probably running our water line through here as well. So it'll be a few things, but we'll catch you here in 3 minutes or so. And yeah, we'll be right back. All right. That's all taken care of now for the most part. We've got a few guys in here doing onesie-twosie things. Looks like they can't reach the majority of this stuff quite yet, but that's fine. We'll give them a little bit more access to a little bit more of this. I think these guys are just lumberjack flags. They don't have much to actually tackle quite yet. Doesn't appear as though they can reach everything for some strange reason. So we'll go ahead and fire those guys. I'm going to pause the game for a second so I can do this stuff a little bit quicker. Go ahead and get those guys ripped out. Get that ripped out. Get this path ripped out. We'll do the same back here, and we're going to start laying copious amounts of dynamite, though I do believe we might have to come in and remove this stuff by hand, and I don't know if they can actually reach all of that from up top, so we'll see what happens. We'll rip this, or we'll pause this, actually. Let's cancel the demolition on that. Let them come over and take care of that for us real quick. We'll give this a priority bump. I believe I've already... Actually, let's cancel that demolition. Go ahead and destroy that, and destroy that. Have them come over and clean up all of that mess for us real quick. Then we'll get them in there and ripping through that. We did have quite the explosion in bot population because I may have thrown in a few things over here, which means we're going through all of our bot production material pretty quickly. We are catching back up on our lumber and our plank supply, so that is good to see. I'm happy to say that that's occurring. I haven't cleaned up the rest of this, though that will be in something that we're going to tackle at some point. Probably need to turn these 3 on just to meet the demand for the additional 2 bot assemblers that we have in place, but that is fine for now. Go ahead and check on this guy. You can get paused, and we'll just let that work its way out. Scavenger flag, we can pull out of here and leave these scavenger flags down there to do their things. And let's go ahead and hit this demolish button again. We'll have to give them a path to come and rescue that material, which we probably will do because that is a fair amount of lumber and planks back there that we'd like to have. And we're also going to be working back here anyway by placing a lot of explosives in the first place, so we'll go ahead and get that placed and ready to rock and roll as well. So let's go ahead and rip that out. And the game is chugging very, very sadly, but that is bound to happen. We did clear up a little bit of this down here, which means we could probably rip out a few of these a few of these paths in here because they are kind of useless to us at this point. So we'll probably just go ahead and rip that out here. Probably even rip this out here because there's no need for that. Really isn't cleaning up too much for us quite yet. We still have a lot of space down here that I'd like to clear out, and we do have still a lot of large water tanks here that I still need to move up here, but that requires us to start blasting, which we're not quite there yet. So let's go ahead and get this all ripped out and ready to go, and let's go ahead and start throwing in our dynamite. So what I'm going to do, actually, a couple things. We're going to place a large warehouse, probably right here. And then let's go with the large tank because I anticipate throwing a lot of this stuff in here and going through a fair amount of this extract. And I'm realizing that we're probably going to need a little bit more in the extract production, and it just so happens that I've blocked off the very spots that I was thinking about putting them in. So that is on me. It's fine. I need to hit this obtain button so these guys can work a little bit faster. Their productivity is decent, but I would like them to be a little bit stronger. And this is already in. I need to get this prioritize obtain and then prioritize obtain on that guy as well. Go ahead and pause the game for a second just so this doesn't take 5 years to get demolished. We're going to go ahead and rip out that for us there, that there. And now we should be able to go ahead and start ripping in our triple dynamite. I'm going to just go ahead and run the triple dynamite. And we'll just go down from there. I feel like we'll just build stairs down and then come in and rip the stairs out as time goes on. I feel like that's going to be the easiest to contend with. I just also want to line this path up with that, which is kind of hard to do. I feel like this line... So this is it right here. This is the center right there. So we want to line everything up around that. And we just want 3, 2, 3. So we only need that taken care of, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That should meet the intent there, and then we can just pull the rest of that back here. Go and rip that out as well. Throw this in, and we keep running this back. Great, that should be good. And I don't know how many I did just put down here. We can do a little mathy here. So what? A 34 pieces. That's not All right, so we'll cut this back by 1 there, and then that should be fine. We could pull this forward a little bit. I do want to also put in entertainment down here. So I think the storage area is probably what we're going to work with. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll come back as we throw the stuff in, and yeah, we'll have a good time with it.
Iron teeth, we bite through stone. Measure every tunnel, every bone. Map the roots, count every seed. Overload hungers, we must feed. Steel bridge dam and a leveled hill. Slide roll mines in a single wheel. Wood dust clings to our furry lungs. Plans on parchment, ink on tongue. Yeah. Dig it down for the overlord. Deeper than the old world's core. Stack that grain, build more, then more. Iron teeth, expand the hoard. Every log, every seed, every store reward. All for beaver kind, all for the overlord. Lanterns swing in the sweating dark. Echo of hammers, flint on spark. Crates of carrots, sky of roots. Floodgates guarded by armored boots. Timberpunk towers above our heads, but the future lives in the cellar beds. Rows of mushroom fields unseen. Secret kingdom under the canteen. Dig it down for the overlord. Deeper than the old world's core. Stack that grain, build more, then more. Iron teeth, expand the hoard. Every log, every seed, every store reward. All for beaver kind, all for the overlord. We don't sleep, we calculate every shelf a twisted fate. If the rivers fail, if the sun runs dry, our hidden harvest will survive. Oh yeah. Dig it down for the overlord. Deeper than the old world's core. Stack that grain,